So welcome back. You're in my cabinet right now, and I just got back from working out and went to the grocery store, to Sam's Club, because I had to go pick up some eggs and meat. Anyways, the ground beef 93.7 is typically what I'll get, and I will cook it not in a flat pan. I'll cook it in like a pot. Now, that's kind of weird, right? But I find that it browns it a little bit better, and I can cook more meat in there without it splattering all over the countertop because, again, there is some fat in here, so when fat heats, obviously it's gonna kind of splatter, and this just will reduce that so I don't have this grease all around my my electric stove, right? And it might even suck if you have like a gas stove too. So yeah, shirts off because I'm sweating quite a bit, and that will just make more of this acne stuff pop up. I just sweat 24/7, man. So like, I'll go ahead and give you an update. Yesterday, I did go to the Raw event in Orlando. Awesome. It's Raw 2K23 is what they named it. And they plan on doing it next year. Oh, on the bottom of the pan, got some salt. So this is actually pink Himalayan sea salt. We saved it from some some pretzels, and might as well save some money, you know. So if you have some like salt on the bottom of the bag of some of your popcorn or pretzels, it's kind of a good idea to keep it. Plus, this already has like some sort of other seasoning in there too, but no additive ingredients. It's just literally salt, sea salt, pink Himalayan sea salt. So. Yeah, I think it's like a blend. But anyways, we added that on the bottom of the pan with some coconut oil, and that way it won't stick as much to the pan. There's no coating on this pan, so there's no non-stick coating. I typically like to have a ceramic pan if I use it, and then the stainless steel pot. I don't care about the non-stick pans. I don't think it's like harmful if you're going to be cooking it at like a regular temperature. But yeah, the people that freak out about it, it is what it is. But you'll have so many other toxins in your body. And if your liver and kidney's good, lymphatic system's good, you don't have to really worry about it. You don't have to eliminate it. I just say manage it, right? So, anyways, so we'll go ahead and let that cook. And then back to the Raw event. So it's really cool to be able to see some speakers up there, having Dom, Matt Jansen, Chris Bumstead. Obviously, they had Christian Guzman, they had Vaughn Walker, a couple other athletes I don't know, and they had Joe Bennett, hypertrophy coach, was there as well, giving his opinion and his advice on some questions that was open to the crowd. We had some food catered and free stuff, drinks, and some merch that we can purchase. And then afterwards, we also had a little bit of a meet and greet with athletes. So they had it like before, in the middle, and after. So it was really nice. We also had a group of female competitors and athletes that Raw has, and Courtney King, Chris Bumstead's fiance. They did a little Q&A, so it was really nice to get some of the female perspective as well. Funny enough, man, more women or more guys had questions to them, I think, than women. But what was very interesting was everyone seemed to have like the same concerns about balancing life. You know, what's like, how do you succeed or overcome hurdles? What is, you know, a challenge that you had to face that really helped you become who you are? But really, a lot of it, man, the answers, and like it should be, it's really your mindset. And it's kind of disturbing how many young people that we have in the industry that have some sort of emotional disconnect from themselves and from reality. It's just the mental health is definitely something to be aware of. And I definitely agree with something that Matt Jansen said about the correlation with the mental health and with cell phones and social media platforms. You are comparing each other on social media, but you're also comparing someone's 10 year versus your 1 year, or someone's 5 years versus your beginning. So it's not really fair to say, hey, I should compare myself to this person who's having success whenever I'm just starting. So, and then for the meat, we're going to go ahead and use a spoon. I like a spoon because I can get in around on the edges, and then whenever I scoop it out, I reduce the amount of fat that I get into my container that I'm going to put in here, because this is 6 pounds of meat that I'm doing. So 6 of those 1 pound packets, and then I will divvy it out and season this bad boy after it cooks up a bit. Because if you put the seasoning in while it's still raw and still cooking, it's going to seep out and not really get absorbed too much. But you do want to go ahead and season it with salt, in my opinion, and then add your other herbs and such to it. And don't be afraid to over salt, because you're an athlete, probably you're working out and you're sweating a lot, like how I'm sweating right now. And we need to make sure that we're staying hydrated. I think that's the big key takeaway for recovery. Hydration is one of those, right? So hydration, keeping on a cellular and intramuscular level. So anyways, going back to like kind of the mindset really of a lot of athletes, or a lot of consumers, ambassadors of Raw and Revive, they all have the same questions, man, and the same concerns, and their own environment. So it is unique to their situation, but it really comes down to the same answers. And the big takeaways, I would say, is being able to disconnect from social media and to learn your why, and then always to have your why to continue to develop and adapt to whatever you are chasing. And you can't have your why be the same as someone else's, just because you want to have what they have. It's not going to happen. So that's definitely what imposter syndrome is, and that was a question that was asked. Is how do you deal with imposter syndrome if you have it? And I'm sure a lot of people do have it when they first start off on social media or YouTube. I think like I even had that with my other YouTube accounts. It was just like, hey, like what's popular now and what should I be doing to get the views and get the social media algorithm to kind of boost me up. But that wasn't really who I am. And Joe Bennett did make a comment to say, like, you know, be who you are. And if you are an uninteresting person and you're boring and such, you know, maybe not everyone's going to like that, but you're all going to have some followers, or people are going to be able to gravitate towards you because they experience the same things as you. And sometimes, you know, you don't always want to have media content that is like something that you need to watch and look at the graphics and because I'll tell you what, man, it's some things you just want to be able to listen on a drive, or let your phone be in your pocket so you don't have to watch the screen, which is kind of the reason why I do what I do. I don't really eat in front of the camera. I'd rather talk, because that's the way that I listen to social media. Even though I'm on YouTube and I'm like driving with YouTube kind of playing, I'm not watching it. I really just listen, and I'm not the biggest fan of looking at the screen. So very few things will I actually want to sit down and actually look at. But you're just so much more productive if you just listen to something, listen to a podcast or YouTube upload, and you can be doing something. Like I'm about to go mow the yard and do some yard work. So I'm going to be able to listen to something and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So the other big takeaway was about recovery aspects and techniques. And so sleep is a big recovery. It's the number one recovery tool that I think gets neglected. and we don't really look at our lifestyle. We try to go for some sort of a peptide or herbal or amino acid to help us sleep better, whenever really, again, it's kind of a lifestyle thing with how we set our nights up. So, all right, that's all mixed up. Put the lid on it and let it cook, and then randomly stir it up. So anyways, but that's kind of like the main takeaways I would say for that. Yeah, outside of that, man, a lot of it's just the mental health of people, and again, it's concerning, especially with having young kids, because you don't really know how the future is going to be. So whatever social media platform is going on right now, it might change with AI and such. So, sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of like shirtless stuff. Having my nipples exposed, I think that's kind of weird. Especially like the people that do it in the gym, they have like their nipples exposed and wearing a tank top. So to each their own, I guess. But let me put my headphones in. Okay, now this is better because I'm about to make another shake. So we got some collagen, and then we got some creatine, and got some almond milk, and we got some protein. We're going to go ahead and use up some of the egg protein. So True Nutrition, you can do like your customized blends. Obviously, I would say, hey, you know, dude, go get some raw protein. Super delicious, super awesome. But Eiley does not like this Swole Whipped flavor. She has another flavor, the toasted coconut, that she prefers. But this is like egg white blend with some beef protein blend. Get some ice from the ice maker, and then we get some frozen bananas, or you can do whatever frozen fruit that tickles your fancy. So I like to put the ice at the bottom, pour a little bit of almond milk in there so that your powders don't get stuck to the bottom. And then I like to do, in no particular order, powders, but today we will do some alphabetical order, I guess. So we're doing collagen, then we'll do a scoop of creatine, so 5 grams of creatine. Maybe, I don't know, it might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. And this is 18 grams of collagen protein. And let's see how much we have in here. So we're going to do a scoop of this guy, and it's going to be 0 fat, 2 carb, which is going to be sugar, alcohol. Yeah, and then 25 grams of protein. So it is what it is. But then I will put the banana in there, and then after that, we will blend it up. But or then we'll put some more almond milk in there, because you don't want the top of your powder to stick to that. And I'm not going to put carbs in here today. So the carbs, we will probably do like a cream of rice, maybe some regular rice. Oh no, I'm actually going to do grilled cheese and some egg. And the egg, I think I might scramble, because I don't feel like trying to make it over easy. I don't know how you guys like your eggs. I typically don't eat eggs. I'm trying to eat more eggs because Chris Tuttle said, you know, when you're healing your gut, include some food diversity in your gut so that you can maintain healthy gut flora. And I'm trying to keep it all diverse so that I can eat some food and not to worry about being bloated and such after eating it. And which is true, because you do gain an intolerance, it seems like, to foods if you take it out of your diet for a prolonged period of time. And so you don't become allergic to it. There's a difference between a histamine response to allergens versus being intolerant, not being able to break down something. So we can think of that as like a, your H1 or H2 histamines, and you can buy those again kind of like separately, H1 and H2, whether that be like Zyrtec or Benadryl, or Atarax. They hit, or they try to block different histamine receptors. Anyways, we're gonna hit the blender. And then sometimes it gets stuck to the top. We are using a Ninja blender. And these are actually pretty good. So loud. It's 20 seconds every time to hear my blender. And I don't know about you guys, but I do lick the top of this. It's one of those things that I thoroughly enjoy because I get to get my tongue very close to these blades that could cut your tongue. But I figured, why not enjoy life and risk cutting your tongue? You know? I mean, the only person that would be disappointed, I guess, would be myself and my wife. But, yeah. So, rinse it off, obviously. Put it in the dishwasher. And wash your dishes. So, kind of ranting around right now, but I'm also going to be taking my vitamins. So this will be post-workout vitamins. If you're interested, I separate everything. This is not a prescription. This is just a prescription bottle. I find it easy to separate all my stuff. So it is quite a bit of pills, right? So usually 2 handfuls. Right? Okay. ASMR. Cool. So probably like 20 pills. I don't know. Feel free to judge me. So probably by the end of the by the end of the day, I'm probably like 60 pills in. So it is what it is. If you don't like it, then I guess don't watch it or just make comments. How many pills do you take a day? So, I mean, I'd rather be taking supplement pills rather than prescription pills. So, I don't know. And it beats injections because I used to have to do Dupixent injections, and Dupixent is a pharmaceutical drug that helps with eczema, and it helps with the controlling inflammatory markers of that particular spot. And it's not fun, dude. It's super viscous. Viscous means very thick. So I would rather swallow 60 pills a day than have to inject that stuff every other week, because you have to inject it into like fat. And I'm not the skinniest person, nor am I the fattest person, but I really don't hold body fat anywhere too much that I can get to with my own personal self. And I don't really trust my wife to be able to inject me with that injection. Anything else, water-based, totally fine. Oil-based, I would say that's okay, depending on how thick the oil is and how small the gauge is, or how long the needle is. Typically, I don't do any long needles. But the Dupixent one, it's sub-Q and into the fat cells. And you just have to pull back your skin, and it leaves this huge welt under my skin, like full of like fluid, and it looks like just this big bubble, and it takes a while to dissipate and to be absorbed into the body because of its viscosity. And it's just not fun. If you shoot it into the muscle, why don't you say, hey, you know, that'll be a lot easier, Andrew, right? Shoot into the muscle. No, that's not how drugs work. Some pharmaceutical drugs need to have the fat for it to be going through the body at a systemic rate. If you put it into the muscles, it might absorb faster, plus it will burn. So it also has the properties to reduce the integrity of your joints, tendons, and ligaments, which is why I was getting injured so much. But you know, they don't really go through that with you. Whenever you ask questions, you're like, hey, does it do this? They're like, no, we don't believe so. And then you get injured and you figure out, hey, the correlation between this and it happening. So you know, it's definitely done damage, but I don't take Dupixent anymore. If you have eczema, I would highly recommend not even doing that, especially if you're an athlete. You know, if you don't care about your health and you don't want to try to find some other way to control inflammatory markers, like maybe BPC 157, then I say, by all means, live a crappy life and take that Dupixent. It's not fun. So, anyways, for the carbs, we got some bread. We're gonna do our diligence as dads. We have to eat the butts or the heel, if you want to be correct, of the bread that your kids don't eat. So you eat that. And what else do? You eat the eggs that are all busted up. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna eat the butt of bread and the busted eggs. And we'll go from there. Hopefully it doesn't rain here in Florida, because right now the sun is shining, and in 30 minutes it's probably going to look like it's going to rain, and in about an hour it's going to sprinkle, and it's going to brighten up, and then it's going to pour down rain. And it's kind of what it's like living in Florida, right? It's like a bipolar thing. I am losing my concentration. Bipolar climate. There we go. And yeah, we'll go from there. But I think that's about it. I've just been rambling. So hopefully you enjoy the rambling, or you don't, and you haven't even gotten this far. So I don't really know. All right, guys. So day kind of got away from me, but I'm just doing some laundry, because that's what you do as a parent. It's nonstop laundry, right? So besides work and food and such, you have to get the chores done. So laundry, got some raw apparel, obviously, because why not? Being with Raw and Revive. So the one thing I did want to mention was about the food prep that I was doing, and I did 6 pounds of red meat. And the reason why is because, hopefully you can hear me, I have like one headphone in, but the reason why I do that is because I will put a lot of my meals in blender, and I will do meat and I will do rice in the blender, just because it's a little bit better mouthfeel, in my opinion. It's not as disgusting as people think, but also I can get the calories in. Do some fire and kettle bone broth for the sodium in there and some flavor as well. And you don't have to have it warm to where it's disgusting. I mean, you can have it cooked, but it doesn't really taste that bad. But that's just some of my meals, so like maybe 3 of my meals are like that. But naturally, I'm a very small guy, so I am typically my body's trying to be at like 170. I'm 6 foot tall, so I have been down to 155 before, and due to some circumstances, and I didn't mind it. The body just totally fine with it. So me being 200 pounds, above 200 pounds, it's super hard to maintain my weight. I am extremely tired a lot of times. That is also due to autoimmune disease, but the amount of physical exhaustion that comes with trying to keep body weight up with your food intake definitely is rough, and trying to get comfortable at the next weight, it does take time. So you can't have some progressively you can't progressively get like heavier and heavier and heavier without some stagnation, so that your body can get used to the weight and it can again build that lean tissue, which does take quite a while. It's not like a month by month thing. I mean, we're talking like quarter of a pound, if that, maybe every 2 weeks, month, like probably like a month, technically, quarter of a pound, depends how long you've been training. And we're talking like lean tissue, not with the water and such in there. So, I mean, if you gain 5 pounds and an entire year of lean solid tissue, like stage weight, I'd say that is freaking awesome. So don't be fooled by that water weight, or even, again, if you're not that fat, because your muscles do hold water, and so you really won't notice until you dry out. But anyways, the the ending of this video is just me doing chores, and it is what it is. Sucks, but it has to be done, and you will enjoy life better if you do what sucks, right? Embrace the suck is what that one kid says from VPN, Nick Bear, but it holds truth for everything that we do in life. Doesn't matter if it's task or work at hand. It can be just sacrifices that we have to do for our family, for ourselves, for our loved ones, outside of our intermediate family, and it creates the grit that we need, and the discipline, and the confidence to be able to do whatever we set our mind to, right? Makes tough things very, very easy, and it makes the easy things like sitting there watching Netflix or trying to relax, it's very difficult. It's just a very difficult thing for at least me to do, is to relax my body and my mind, because I always want to be doing something. Kind of that type A personality, where I feel like if I rest too much, then I'm wasting my time. But you do need to learn to rest. I need to learn to rest. It helps recovery, helps to control cortisol, helps reduce inflammation, helps reduce the fluid retention that we might have because of that. So again, you are probably, if you're a high anxiety person like myself, you're probably leaner than what you think you are. So having that disorder of maybe being overly watery might have you thinking that you're flat or fat, when really you're not. You're just really stressed, and you're holding a little bit of water because of that. It's not really a diet thing, but that can cause some of the body image disorders to be exacerbated. So it is something that happens with everybody, and again, it's held differently to different people because of genetics and body types and muscle insertions. So it'll look different on everybody, which is probably why, you know, you look at this, and obviously I'm not the most genetically gifted when it comes to muscle insertions and bubbliness and such, but it is what it is, you know. So you learn to embrace it and to somehow help others with your knowledge or with your struggles, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to do for you guys. But anyways, the laundry never stops here, man. I swear I do it like every other day, especially like being someone who sweats a lot and then also active, that I don't want my clothes to sit there too long and then gain all this like bacteria and stuff, and then smells will stay on your clothes. You can use borax to get it out, but I personally don't use it. I just wash it faster, and like, rather than letting it sit there for like 4 days, like every other day, I will wash the clothes. Sheets, kind of the same idea. If I'm sweating at night, which is typically every night, but anyways, I think that's about it. Again, kind of ranted pretty much the majority of the time for this video, but just the time that I got to be able to go to the event over at Raw and just listen to some of the owners and people that are involved with that company, it definitely helps to um, kind of soften the blow of how harsh we are on ourselves as individuals who seek perfection or seek gratification or acceptance from other people or society, people that we don't even know, which is kind of weird and not needed. That's something that I'm coming to realize. So I don't really get this like gratification, or I don't seek gratification or acceptance from other people. And I haven't been doing that recently. I used to be a chase, and you become someone that you're not, or you showcase someone that you're not, and then it's hard to follow through and keep that up because, again, you're kind of living a lie or an imposter syndrome. So, again, you love it or hate it, and listen or don't listen, watch or don't watch, whatever. But, anyways, I do hope to help someone out and answer any questions. And that's what I do as I coach with nutrition. But alongside nutrition, a lot of it's mental. And I've been there, been through a lot of it. And if you think I haven't, then you can ask questions. I can answer more in depth to whatever you want to know about me. But yeah, it sucks to see people hurt or see people who have mental struggles because I've been there, and it feels really good to be able to help people, especially helping people for free. There's some like pro bono options that I give with nutrition and mental health, and yeah, so do what you got to do, and I will contact y'all on the Instagram and YouTube. And contacting y'all means me sending out shorts, video shorts. And then you guys can contact me by social media. Anyways, it's been long enough for this video, so later.